Now we will start our last lecture, which is on smart weed management in vegetable crops. And speaker is our post director of this training program, Dr. Choudhary sir. He is a principal scientist at ICAR-Directorate of Wheat Research, Jabalpur. He obtained his BSc from IJWS Raipur, MSc from US Bangalore, and PhD from IJWS Raipur. He served 3 institutes like ICR Research Complex for NEH region, Arunachal Pradesh Center, Basar, ICR National Institute of Biotic Stress Management, Raipur, and now he is at Directorate. So he served the Indian Society of Wheat Science as treasurer and newsletter editor also. He is the recipient of University Gold Medal for PhD, Shri Ram Puraskar by FAI, KU Patel Award by Indian Food Processors Association, New Delhi, ISA Associateship, Best Worker Award from DWR, and many more. And he has expertise in integrated weed management and conservation agriculture, direct seeded rice, innovative weed management in maize and chickpea, non-chemical weed management approaches in different crops and cropping system, herbicide-resistant management, and others. So with this brief introduction, I would like to invite our speaker for his presentation. Sir.
My screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Full screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Yogita, for introduction to the participant. For next few minutes, I shall be speaking on smart weed management in vegetable crops. And before proceeding to my presentation, just I would like to put disclaimer before you. Basically, I'm an agronomist, and as topic given to me, weed management in vegetable crops. Some of the work I have carried out during my past career where I had been. Even during my PhD, I worked in vegetable crops. So those information I try to collect, and some other information I put it in my presentation. So please beg me pardon if I will not do justice to the vegetable crops, but yeah, I will try my level best to tell about weed management in vegetable crops. So when we talk about food grain production today, we are self-sufficient in majority of the food grains. But when we see about these food plates, it's really a matter of introspection that whatever food we are eating, whether that is nutritionally secure or not. So as vegetables are a rich source of vitamin, minerals, and fibers, we have to include these vegetables in our diet so that the balanced diet will get. And as far as this vegetable is concerned, it has significant impact on our forex generation, and because we export so much of vegetables and earn so much of forex. And this vegetable is very important for the many of the industries because this is the raw material for those industries. And as far as this vegetable production is concerned, we stand second in the globe. And as far as this journey of vegetable production in the country is concerned, during 2004 and 5, we could produce around 100 million tons. And in last 23-24, it is around 200 plus million tons in just in 11.11 billion hectare area. So there is significant improvement we have got in vegetable production. And when we talk about overall the contribution of vegetable in horticulture crops, so it has been growing around 39% of acreage, and in production it is 58% contribution. You can see right side, as I mentioned, that we stand second globally, but the first and second, the difference between first and second is very huge. China stand first, and they're producing around 750 million tons. So we have to work a lot to get that first rank. But yeah, possibilities are there, a lot of scope is there, we can work upon, and definitely we can get it, that position as well. So as far as horticulture crop is concerned, the area and production, so of course, highest area is under vegetable cultivation, that is 11.11 million hectare area. And production, as I mentioned, is around 205 million tons. And next goes to fruits, and then spices and plantation crops. So total horticulture crop is concerned, it's around 28.7 million hectare area is under cultivation, and overall production is around 352 million tons. When we talk about vegetable production, there is two type of vegetables. One is above ground vegetable, another one is below ground vegetable. So among this above ground vegetable is concerned, the total area is around 6.6 million hectare area, and overall production is around 110 million tons. And these are the crops you can see, including mushroom. Mushroom is also comes under this above ground vegetable. And as far as below ground vegetable is concerned, mostly tuber crops. So this total area is around 4.5 million hectare area, and overall production is around 95 this million tons. So altogether, this vegetable area is under 11.11 million hectare, and total production is 205 million tons. So we'll talk about important states which contribute significantly to the vegetable cultivation is concerned. So Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal, these are the most important states, and they always topple the table as far as vegetable production is concerned. And there is a very healthy competition between these two states. And sometimes Uttar Pradesh produces more, and some year this West Bengal, and followed by Madhya Pradesh and Bihar. And these states are having some special kind of climatic condition, and they just grow special kind of vegetables. Therefore, their this production is very high. Like Uttar Pradesh, this contributes around 14.8% of this total vegetable, and West Bengal is 14%, and Madhya Pradesh, this climate is very good, excellent for the vegetable cultivation. And similarly in Bihar and Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, mostly it cultivates this onion, brinjal, chilies, and ladyfinger. So these are the important vegetable they contribute for Maharashtra. Of course, when we talk about vegetable production, so there are many constants, and we talk about constant, then biotic stand first. And when we talk about biotic stress, since last 9 days, we have been listening about this, and this insect, disease, nematodes, rodents, weeds. These are the important biotic stress. They reduce our overall production. And similarly, abiotic stress, then this like nutrient management, water management, and many more things required to produce healthy and quality this vegetable. Similarly, when we talk about horticulture, then vegetable, then the inputs are very, very important. What kind of inputs we are using, the quality of input is very, very important. And this required a special type of agronomic practices. And by manipulating those agronomic practices, we can increase the productivity of these vegetables. And this sector required trained manpower, which is we are lacking, and very less number of trained manpowers are there. So this is another constant. And you all know that we produce this vegetable in one area, and our market is somewhere else. So it requires huge transportation. So much of cost is involved in this transportation. And similarly, this horticulture production, this vegetable production, it required infrastructure, like we have to have that cold storage, and some other structure like this poly houses and net houses is required for cultivation of vegetables. So this is another constraint we have for vegetable production. And post-harvest loss, around 12 to 13, 15% to 15% of post-harvest loss is there for vegetable production. So that by reducing that, we can further enhance our this vegetable production. And market demand and supply, these are again important aspects. Sometimes we produce in huge, and there is a glut in the market, then this price comes down. Then next year, we can see the influence of this kind of scenario. And farmers, they don't go for this kind of cultivation of those vegetables, which has lesser market price previous year. And again, this price shoots. So this market demand and supply, this plays very, very important role, these things. And knowledge is a very important things required for vegetable cultivation, and which we are lacking, and it's requiring special kind of knowledge. Which kind of planting material, how this planting material need to produce, when to plant this seedling, what kind of nutrients and dosing is required. So this is required special kind of this knowledge. So these are the important constant we have for vegetable production. And many a time we have gone with these slides. So when we talk about overall this crop loss due to pests, so weeds stand first, and around 37 losses due to weeds. followed by insect, that's 29%, and diseases, that is 22%, and rodents, mites, and birds and other things, it's around 12%. So, these weeds are not only a problem in agriculture, but they also cause a problem in aquatic system, public community areas, grassland, non-crop area, and forest area. This is not a no subject of discussion for today. But yeah, these are our concern where the weed can create problem. But what challenges we face today when talk about weed management? So, as you all know that, of course, availability of labor is reducing, and at the very same time, the wages is increasing. So we are cultivating any crop, then we have to pay a lot. So ultimately, it is increasing the production cost. And nowadays, no one want to keep bullock pair in their home. So this animal power is reducing significantly. So we are more dependent on this mechanization. And in last few years, this release of pre-plant incorporation herbicide, which are soil applied herbicide, is very meager in number. Only one or two is available as on date. That's pendimethalin CS formation. That is one we can use as a PPI, but very less number of herbicides are available which can be used as a PPI. And when we talk about this vegetable production, so the quality is very, very important. And we are very much concerned about our food and water environment. There is also one important thing. So whatever the chemical we are using for vegetable production, we have to be very much cautious about it. And nowadays, this threat of this alien invasive weeds like Parthenium, Micania, and Prosopis, these are the important weeds. They are creating problem in our agriculture field. And the first speaker there, he told about climate change, the implications, how it is going to affect our food production system. He has very nicely elaborated. So this is another challenge for agriculture, and especially in weed management as well. And ultimately, we need the technology which is very much sustainable, which has high productivity, and which is economically feasible and environmentally safe. So this kind of technology we need. So when we talk about vegetable and this weed management, they go parallel, and most of the vegetables, they are very slow growing. So early stage, the growth is slow, then a majority of the space is being occupied by weeds, and they create problems. And majority of the this vegetable crops, including early stage, they are very less competitor. And this weed create problem, and ultimately whatever the produce we harvest, the quality is very poor. And if we sell it in the market, we'll not get the good price, and even those material cannot be used for industry as a raw material. So quality of crop is at most important when we talk about horticulture, not only vegetable, but other fruit and spices and plantation crop, that is also equally important. And weed management is important to minimize the loss and improve the quality. So we have to target at right time, right place, and one of the kind of weeds are there, we should maintain below threshold level so that we can harvest good produce. So, of course, this weed problem increasing in modern agriculture due to certain region. That is, globalization of agriculture. There is free trades, and materials is moving from one across the border. So, along with this, some of the weeds are also moving from one country to another country. And nowadays, we are very much dependent on these hybrid varieties and hybrids. So, these are a poor competitor to weeds, and by using this kind of varieties or hybrids, our this wheat problem is further increasing. Similarly, now this we are irrigating more and applying the fertilizer. So this is also encouraging the weeds to establish and flourish, and they're producing those seeds. So this altered agronomy is required. So by that we can minimize this weed problem. Whatever the input we are using, it has to be placed in the very right place, so that our crop will utilize those inputs, and wider spacing. By that we can go for some herbicide application, as well as some mechanical aspect we can do. And monocropping and multiple cropping is also creating problem. One kind of crop we are growing for many years or many seasons, then without proper rotation, this is creating problem. And reduced tillage is allowing perennial weeds to establish. And this is another the problem in the modern agriculture we have been facing. And many of the speakers have already mentioned about it, that how do we spread? Yeah, there are many culprits like our human, pets, wildlife, water, wind, vehicle, machinery, and soil filling we are doing from one place to another place. If those soils are full of weed seeds, then they come to the newer area. So by this way, the weeds seeds are getting spread from one place to one place, another place. Dr. Mahajan was talking about case study of Australia, that when the come clean and go clean. So this kind of activity need to perform. You can see the left side of the picture. This is the nothing but rotavator is full of soil, and in this soil so much of this weed seed was there. If this kind of implements or machinery are entering in our field, so this is contributing so much to the our this field. So we have to be very much cautious when weeds are implements are entering in the field. It should be very much clean. So when we talk about weeds, so weeds are the symptom of the problem, but real problem is seed banks. So we have to know what kind of things are there in our soil. If we know those things, then only we can strategize our management practices. If grasses are there, or broadleaf weeds are there, or sedges are there, accordingly we have to take the decision in coming season. So it is very important to know the seed bank, and based on that we have to develop our strategy for weed management practices. uh, and from right side, you can see the seed bank. There's two type of seeds are available. That's non-dormant and dormant kind of seed. If non-dormant seeds are there, we can go for deep burial. By that, majority of the weed seeds will go to deeper depth, and they will, due course of time, they will get decay, or they will lose their viability. By this way, we can minimize the seed bank. And if dormant seeds are there, then this seed burial is very dangerous, because after a few years, if you are repeating these tillage practices, then they will again come up. So what kind of weed seeds are there in our seed bank? Accordingly, we have to go for management practices. But yeah, majority of the weed seeds, they remain on the surface, and they germinate, and some of them they get die. Only few weeds they come to the seedling stage, and only few weed seed they go for the reproductive stage, and they produce seeds, and ultimately they enrich our soil. So these are the cycle of the this wheat. So different barriers are there, environmental barriers are there. So they create competition among plant, and only few plants can survive and produce the seeds. Apart from that, seed dust dispersal is also there. The weeds seeds, they come to our field, and they increase our seed bank. At the very same time, the predation and decay is also going on, and they reduce the weed seed bank. So this is the scenario when talk about vegetable cultivation. When we grow the crop, at that time we take the utmost care. So our field should not be any kind of infested with the weeds, and whatever the weeds plants are there, we take them off from the field. But once we harvest the economic part, and then this kind of scenario it takes place, and so much of weeds, you can just imagine the billions of seed. This field, it contribute billions of seed to the seed bank. So we have to be very much cautious. We should not leave our field like this, and whatever the plants are there, that tend to be uprooted before the flowering, so that seed bank can be minimized significantly. Of course, whatever the management practices we are doing, so that need to be continue, and by that way we are we are depleting the seed bank. So if we follow this good management practices for quite long time, like maybe 5 years, then we can reduce the seed bank significantly, up to 95%. So after 5 years, it will be around 5% if we are following the best management practices. But by any mean, if we can miss the weed management practice for a year, then again we reach to the what we had been at 5 years back. So it is a continuous process. Whatever the, because we know that one healthy plant can produce up to lakhs of seed. So we have to be very much cautious. Whatever the weeds plants are there, that need to be uprooted. And whatever the management practices we are following, if all the management practices are doing well, so we should not stick on that. Still, some kind of corrective measures is required. So what are the corrective measures? Our main focus should be stop seed set. Whatever the plants are there, they should not set the seed. Before that, they have to be removed from the field, and keep feed number as low as possible. So we should not allow more weeds to be remain in the field. And if some of the weeds, they can come up to the flowering stage, and they have already produced the seeds, so they should not spread those seeds. They should be localized ones, so that it's bit easy to manage them. And at the time of harvest, if some of the plants they are there and they could produce the seeds, so they can also be harvest. So this kind of management study we have to follow. Once you can see the right side picture. If some of the plants they can still remain at the time of harvest, they can produce huge number of seeds. So we have to have the very specialized management strategy for them. Either we can harvest them or targeted burning wherever possible. To this kind of burning practice, very very targeted. It should not be field burning. It should be very only burn to those plants which has produced the seeds. By this way, we can reduce the seed bank by 90 to 93%. So based on the problem, we should target the this weeds, and by this way we can minimize the problem. And this we have already listened many a time. So we have to target at the critical period of weed competition period, and if we are removing the weeds or controlling the weed or managing the weeds at that time, so we will get the maximum crop harvest. And it's not that whatever the weeds are coming, we have to always keep them uprooted. It will be very very uneconomical. So if some of the escape weeds are there, that can be uprooted before this setting the seeds or at the time of flowering. So this is the critical weed period competition suggested by various researchers. So mostly it is around 15 to 17 days. It depends on the crops, but there are certain crops like onion, they are very poor competitors. So if early stage we will not target them, then huge crop loss will be there. So we have to target them early. Similarly, you can garlic and this tomato also. So the critical weed period is very very important to remove the weeds from the field or control the weeds from the field. So these are some of the grassy weed species normally we see in the field. So these are some of the grassy weeds. These are some of the major broadleaf weeds. Often we see in the vegetables, and these are some of the grassy sedges like Cypress area, the Cypress rotundus, and Hemeristelis, Cypress deformis. So this Cypress area and Cypress rotundus, this is the two important weeds. They emerge with some of the vegetables. And I compiled the information based on our various centers. They have reported in India in different season which kind of weeds is emerging. So yeah, of course, we have to manage them judiciously. So various methods are suggested. So many of the speakers, they have already told about it. So this is nothing but integration of various methods. So the preventive methods are there. So in this, we should not allow the weed seed to enter in our field. There are various cultural methods for the various crop based on the suitability. We should choose those cultural methods, and accordingly, we should minimize the weed number as low as possible. And yeah, if crop is wider spacing, then definitely we can go with some mechanical the tools or equipment or gadgets based on the spacing of the crop, and we can minimize weed number as low as possible. Of course, some of the chemicals are there, but as far as these vegetables are concerned, there is limitations. But still, some of the herbicides are available; those can be used. We will discuss in detail in the coming slides. And biologicals, yeah, whatever the biological materials are there, some of the firms they have developed some of the biological, like for to management of Cuscuta or Striga, this kind of problematic weeds are there. To manage them, some biologicals are also suggested that can be used. And nowadays, these biological, biotechnological tools are also coming. So like herbicide tolerant crops. So although in vegetables now, yeah, some work has done, but it's not available in the market. So yeah, work is going on, and yes, of course, the day will come, it will see the light. And yeah, utilization is very very important. If you're utilizing the weeds, so it also is a one management practice. By that way, we can minimize the weed problem. So ultimately, we have to focus more on this integrated weed management. So basic objective of this integrated weed management is to deplete the seed bank. This is the almost foremost important things of IWM, and reduce on this dependency on the herbicide, and improve farm profitability and this industry sustainability. Of course, climate change adoption practices based on the changing climatic scenario. We have to there's some corrective measures we have to do. So for this, the various methods are suggested. Like we can go with this cultural, physical, and chemical methods. So this is very crop and context specific. And what is the context specific? This is spatial and temporal. It will vary place to place and time to time. So based on also the market and management practices, and also it depends on the climatic condition. Similarly, the various combination of the method, whatever is available with us, which we can afford, those need to be incorporated while formulating the weed management practices, and we should not be very strict on those things. Based on the requirement, we have to change those things. And this focus on timing of use to increase the effectiveness. So whatever the management practices we are adopting, it should be used in the way so that this will be very much effective. And the potential improvement, of course, optimize and this existing method, whatever methods are available. So always there is scope of improvement. So those need to be corrected and used for weed management. And the incorporate whatever the new methods are available, so they need to be integrated in IWM. And greater adoption rate, and of course the knowledge and skill dependent. So as and when we are maintaining the ledger book of our field, then definitely we'll come to know what kind of weeds are emerging on field, and accordingly according to those weeds, we have to synthesize our this weed management practices. This is suggested by Coleman. So this already we have discussed. So as I mentioned, preventive methods are there. So this need to follow. Cultural methods, yeah, it's very crop specific. Whatever the method is there, that need to be incorporated. So many of our participants, they were asking about the still seedbed. What is this? So it's nothing but just we have to plow the land and then irrigate the field. Once the weeds are getting germinated, then either we should go with the very light tillage, only scrape the surface so that the germinated weeds, they will get killed. Otherwise, we can go with this non-selective herbicide like paraquat, glufosinate. But in field crop, this glyphosate is not recommended. So we should not go with the glyphosate. So this is the restricted use of glyphosate. So other options we have like paraquat and glufosinate ammonium, or even we can go with the flame weeding. By this way, we can minimize the this weed problem. And of course, whatever the photoblastic weed seeds are there, they will get germinated, and mostly we can control this annual weeds by adopting this stale seedbed. Majority of the annual or seasonal weeds we can control, but this perennial weeds like Cypra frotendus and this Cynodon declinum, this is bit difficult to control with this. So of course, for those weeds, we can go for stale seedbed followed by non-selective herbicide, and then if you are going for vegetable cultivation, then black polythene mulch is suggested. So if we are following the stale seedbed, though we can reduce the weed seed bank and density by 53%. And in the season, we can reduce the labor use up to 60%. So this is a very important practice, and it's very cheap. Means much of investment is not required. So very in the cheaper way we can get the this weed control. Of course, competitive crops are there. So some of the vegetables are very much competitive. So if based on the wheat flora, we should choose those crops. We are competitive. If we are practicing, we are the new practitioner for this vegetable growers, then or in the beginning itself, we should choose the competitive crops like cucumber, winter squash, and sweet potato. They are very much competitive. And if there is some intermediate competitive this crops are there like sweet corn, beans, and transplanted tomato and pepper. These are some of the intermediate competitive crop, and non-competitive crop like this, as I mentioned, carrot, onion, and this garlic. These are some non-competitive crop. So based on the risk severity, we can choose this crop. And some of the cultivars are very much competitive, like garlic, the SJKG1 cultivar is there, which is competitive than SGKG2. So if we have those competitive cultivars, so definitely we should include them in our this management practices. And crop rotation is very important. So we have to rotate the crop in the very judicious manner, so that it will not encourage any of the weeds to establish there and flourish there. So that we can minimize the weed population. We'll discuss in detail. These are the two examples I have mentioned in temperate region and tropical region, what kind of ideal this crop rotation should be there. So ideal rotation is, if possible, we should go with the this leafy vegetable crop, because they are very much competitive. followed by root crop. Then whatever the economic part is there will be approved, so it will be disturb the weed as well. Then bulb crop and then fruit crop. This kind of sequence we can follow. And if we are growing this cereals crop, then followed by vegetable crops we can grow. And based on the our cultivation practices or management, this we can choose the vegetables. If we are going with the cereal crops, then we can go with the winter cereal, and then later we can go with the vegetables. So of course we should include this vegetable in our rotation. And avoiding subsidiary crop of the same family. Of course, we should not grow same family vegetables crop year after year. So they will create the establishment of one kind of this weed. And alternative of this poor competitor and high competitor. This should be included. And this we should select those crops which are more competitive, so that they will not allow the perennial to establish. And in some of the area we follow, we have identified that this is the very prone, or we can say this is a sick plot of some problematic weeds like Cascuta. So their non-host crop should be included. By this way, we can minimize the weed problem. And some of the cover crops, of course, they have the various advantages, so they should be included. So we can use them as a mulch, and we can also use them as a green manure, and we can intercrop, because some of this cover crops, they release some of the yellow chemicals, so they will not allow other weeds to germinate. By this, we can suppress the emergence of weeds. And if we are incorporating, definitely it will kill the weed, as well as it will increase the nutrient status of the soil, and also proper aeration will be there. There will be better our this crop growth. And if not, then it will be placed in the surface, and it will act as a mulch, and it will not allow weeds to emerge. So by doing this cover crop, there are various advantages, but of course there is some limitation, like the quality and quantity of this cover crop or mulch material is very important when to sow what should be the density. So based on the crop, we should choose those cover crops. And again, soil stabilization is also one of the very important practices, and this can be followed for the high value crops. So here we can go with the plowing of the field, and then we can go with the irrigation, irrigating the field, and then this thin plastic film, transparent polythene film of thickness of around 30 to 120 micron can be placed, and all around the corner it should be tugged. And then after the due course of time, some of the weeds will germinate. And when they will come across with the very high temperature and steam, they will get killed. So here not only weeds, but also this in some insect, and then pathogen, they will also get killed. By this way, our surface of the soil will be sterilized, and we can go with the plantation of our vegetable. But the only thing is that the disposal of these plastic films are a bit difficult. And after these things, we should not go with any kind of tillage operation. Only we should go with the opening of planting holes, and wherever we are going to plant the seedlings, there only we should open that area and plant those seedlings. So these are the very important practices. But of course, the duration is very important. If we allow the field for longer time, this solarization, then better control of weeds and other things are there. But if during that time, if when we are following this soil solarization, and weather is cloudy, then efficacy will not good, and we have to not allow any kind of stray animal to walk in this. Otherwise, it will get punctured, and whatever the benefit we are expecting, we will not get. So these are some of the limitations when we are talking about soil solarization. But overall, this is the very important practices for high value crop. We must go with this. But it's a bit costly things. And here also, this perennial weeds like this Cyperafrotundus and Sanodon, they are also not getting proper control. So we have to have the different strategy to control those weeds. And mulching, this is the very important practices we should follow for this vegetable cultivation. And different type of mulches are there. We should go with the this crop residue mulch. Even we can go with the plastic mulch, and even we can go with this soil mulch. with very light tillage, just we can break the capillaries so that the surface will be dry and weeds will not germinate. So these are the some things. But yeah, some of the weeds are they're having the needle-like structure. They may also come with this crop residue mulch. So we have to be very much cautious about that. And those kind of weeds are coming there, they need to be removed. Either manually or some other practices. But yeah, some of the perennials like cypress and this convolvulus arvensis are not getting control with this our crop residue mulch. So for this black polythene mulch is best option. So wherever this holes are there, planting holes are there, from there only some of this cypress and convolvulus may come. So we can pull them out from the field. So by this way, we can control this perennial weeds as well. So this is my work only. So we have tried various vegetable crops. So by reducing this weed management and improving the water availability, we can increase the crop yield from 6 to 9% in okra to as high as 69% in tomato. So this is a very good practice we should follow for vegetable cultivation. And of course, if we are going with the wider row spacing, then some cover crops we can sow between these two row, and that can be used either as a mulch or they can be terminated by applying some of the non-selective herbicides. So the row spacing is very important. If it is wider row, then only we can do this kind of practices. So this is again my work only. So in the maize, french bean, thoria cropping system, we have followed broadbed furrow method. So it could suppress around 44 to 65% of weeds. And when we mulch this plot, then further improve the weed management practices by 73% over flat bed and bare land. And there is a significant yield improvement was there. So you can see the french bean, it is one of the vegetable. So 35% yield improvement was there when we follow the weed broadbed and furrow. And when we mulch, there is an improvement of 15% of yield. Similarly, in this various cropping, maize-based cropping system, we tried this groundnut, pea, and this French bean. So here you can see in maize French bean based cropping system, there was less weed, system productivity was very high, and production efficiency per day productivity we have harvested highest. So definitely we should include this vegetable crops in our system. And if we mulch, then 65% weed suppression was there, and there was better availability of moisture. So by mulching, we can save the irrigation water as well. Similarly, in turmeric, different kind of mulches we have tried. So like this Imperata cylindrica and the pine needle mulch, and then pedestra mulch, and of course double mulching was there. So double mulching is nothing but crop residue mulch we have used, and after due course of time when it started disintegrating, so again we put this mulch. So that is a double mulch. So the efficacy was highest in pine needle mulch, followed by Imperata cylindrica, and pedestra, and then no mulch. So based on the availability of material that can be used, of course, this was the work of Arunachal Pradesh. So there is a huge number of pine trees. So we use that needle, and that act is a very cushioning material, and they do not allow any weeds to emerge. So by this we improve the this weed disposal efficiency up to 70% and 66% by Imperata cylindrica. So right side in lady finger, this work was done by Patel et al. And they also tried various type of mulch, and then black polythene mulch. They found a better result, and good suppression of weeds was there, and higher the pod yield they have harvested of okra. So this is again mine work. We tried various intercropping. So here, when we go with the cowpea sole cowpea, then it was better suppression of weeds. But in maize and cowpea cropping system, this intercropping system, then 1:5 ratio of this cowpea, and it was equally comparable with 1:2 row of cowpea. So the crop row distance was 60 centimeter of maize, and between that 60 centimeter two row of this cowpea was seeded, and we got the better this weed suppression efficiency. And as far as 5 row of cowpea is concerned, there was a skipped row. So one row of this maize was skipped, and one additional row of cowpea was adjusted. So there was 5:1 row of intercropping. So that suppressed the better wheat. So similarly, by manipulating the irrigation methods, we can get the better weed control. If you are using drip irrigation, then definitely we are irrigating in the root zone area. So in the rest of the area, there won't be weeds. So while this using irrigation method, we have to be very much cautious as far as my knowledge goes and whatever the experience I got. When we are using this sprinkler method of irrigation, it promote the weeds to germinate and establish. It might be due to the biting action of this raindrop, so it allowed more weed to establish. So we should avoid this kind of irrigation method as far as vegetable is concerned. So of course, drip irrigation best one, or we can go with the skipped this alternate row of irrigating vegetable crop. By this way, we can minimize the weed severity. So here you can see the right side. This is the I think capsicum. So 7.76 tons of this yield they have harvested by Jay Kumar and Nandini. But of course, when they irrigated furrow irrigation, so they have harvested more. So don't know what was the problem with that. But of course, as far as our experiment is concerned, we have got better result when we go with the drip irrigation. So this is the mine work only, my PhD work. So I tried the drip irrigation system and various weed management practices in capsicum. So this drip irrigation system at 1 EPAN and black polythene mulch, it provided excellent weed control and high yield of this capsicum, and harvest multi return was also very high. But as far as water efficiency is concerned, when we use this 0.6 EPAN of irrigation level, their water efficiency was more. And it further improved with adoption of this black polythene mulch. So there is no evaporative loss of water. So whatever the water we have applied, that was used by our crop. So this is the study of Jabalpur only. So here we tested this capsicum, tomato, and chili. So this 0.6 EPAN of irrigation, it reduced the wheat density by 20% and biomass by 27%. Almost 20 to 25% the improvement was there. And similarly, as far as biomass is concerned, 18 to 20% of reduction in up to 30% of reduction is there when we use this drip irrigation system. And among mulches, so black polythene mulch was highest, so 85% reduction in density and 90% reduction in this biomass we have recorded, and it was followed by integrated weed management and paddy straw mulch over control. So definitely for this kind of crop, we should go with drip irrigation and black polythene mulch. If black polythene mulch is not available, then we should go with the paddy straw mulch, and need-based hand weeding can be imposed. Of course, mechanical weeders are there, but based on the crop and our situation, we should use them. So, of course, it is very important to note that what kind of weed problem is there. Accordingly, we have to choose the equipment. Like if annual weeds are there, then we can go with the shallow cultivation. It will unearth and fragment the weeds. By this way, they will get killed. If a non-dormant seed are there, then we can go for MB as I already mentioned. It will deep buried and they will get die. And if rumex and silcium is there, then we will go with the cultivator so that it will cut in the small fragment, and ultimately it will get dye. And if sorghum halepens problem is there, then we should go with the cultivator and harrow because with this practice will drag and expose to the surface, and when they will come across with the hot sun and they will get desiccated. For Celadon also, the similar practice will work, and Cypress rotundus, then cutting with this MB plow and disc plow is important. So the tubers will cut in small pieces, and when they will come across with this hot sun, then they will either get desiccated, and if still some viable these tubers are there, they will get germinate, and by applying some of the herbicide like halosulfuron, they may get control. So yeah, by this up to this time we're discussing about various management practices which are not chemical, but yeah, chemicals are also available that can be used. But most important thing is we have to use these molecules with proper PP kit and appropriate nozzles, and following all the stewardship guideline. Some people say it's 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, but yeah, we have to follow the stewardship guideline. And whatever the chemical we are using at the time of purchase, the label we must read, for which crop it is being recommended, what kind of doses is applied, and what is the PHI, which is very, very important when talk about vegetable cultivation. So PHI is very important, pre-harvest interval, so that when should we use and when our this harvest will get ready. So that much of minimum gap should be there. So these are the good practices we should follow. The what picture I have shown here, we should not follow these things because its body is completely exposed and it will come across with the this spray volume, and he may get problem in due course of time. So this is not the right way to apply the herbicide. So proper PPE kits we should use. And of course, when we're talking about herbicide application, this wind speed, temperature, and rainfall is very important. When we are expecting rain or after 2 to 3 hours, we should not apply herbicide, or even if our vegetable or this weeds plant, they are having some kind of dew on the surface, then also we should not go with herbicide application. And if temperature is high, so we should avoid. Either we should go with the early in the morning and late in the evening for herbicide application. And if wind speed is more than 10 kilometers then per hour, then we should avoid. If it is 3 to 4 kilometers, that's well and good. That's the right time to apply these herbicides. And we should apply the herbicide only in bands between the row. So that is by this way we can save the herbicide. And if some of the plants are having some selectivity, so then by that way also we can save our crop. And even if some of the weeds are there in a few pockets, then we can go with the spot application. By that way we can save the herbicide dose. And of course there are some environmental issue associated with this. There should not be any kind of spill. There should not be any kind of drift. We must respect the edges. So while spraying herbicide, the edges we have to be very much cautious whether different type of crops are there, then they may get damaged. So we should keep some border area for that, and of course waterway and sensitive area we have to take the utmost care. And normally these herbicide bottles are very attractive, so we should not use those bottles for keeping some of our food items. We should clean those bottles after using the herbicide and thrice, and they should also get discarded. And whatever the herbicide we are using, it should be in proper rotation should be there. By that way, whatever things we have been hearing that herbicide resistance globally it's 535 number of resistance cases has been registered, and even 10 number of resistance cases from India. So those kind of problem we can avoid by using this herbicide rotation. So let's come to the some of the recommendation of vegetables. So here again, I'm telling some disclaimer that whatever the herbicide been tested by a researcher, that I try to compile all the herbicide is not recommended by CIB and RC. These are not been registered, but yeah, these are the herbicide which can be tested, and these herbicides are giving good result in various crops. But yeah, with precaution. Some of the variety may be the selectivity issue will be there. So before applying or recommending in larger area, we have to apply it in a smaller area, and based on that efficacy we can recommend. So yeah, as far as garlic is concerned, pendimethalin, oxychlorophene, metolachlor, oxadiazone, and cujolofop, oxadergil, and phenoxaprop. These are some of the herbicide which is working well. Of course, this cujolofop and this phenoxaprop, this is post-emergence herbicide, and this is grass killer, so no issue with the this garlic. But like oxadiazone and oxadergil, when we are using, then we have to be very much cautious. If some of the variety they may be sensitive, but oxychlorophene and pendimethalin can be used. For the root crop like carrot and radish, again, pendimethalin is a good herbicide that can be used as a pre-plant incorporation. If it is CS formulation, or if it is a EC formulation, then we can use it as a pre-emergence herbicide. And elachlor, if available in your market, then that can be used. Oxychlorophene, of course, is a good one. Glutachlor also it is available, so it can be used. Metolachlor again is available, and cefoxidim and fluazepam, this can be used as a post-emergence herbicide, but it is a grass killer. So based on the availability of molecules, we can use this herbicide. As far as chili and capsicum is concerned, of course, if we are going with the bed planting, then mechanical measures we should use. We should use mulches, which I have already mentioned. But as far as herbicide options are concerned, pendimethalin 30% EC, 1 kg we can use. But diuran before planting, Of course, when you're using this diuron in capsicum and chili, then it should be applied before planting. And pendimethalin as imethaphyr is also one option that can be used in lower rates. Normally, this is applied. This is recommended at 960 gram, but in chili and capsicum, we can go with the 80% of this dose. This oxychloroquine can also be used as pre-emergent herbicide. Propacuzumab for killing grasses. Metribuzin also can be used, and metolachlor and prometrine, but I don't know availability in the various markets. And nitrogen. These are the some of the herbicides. This can be tested. Of course, some of the researchers they have tested and they found a good result. But again, because researchers they have tested in some of the variety only. So based on the variety of our area, which are the variety we are growing, and whether these herbicides are safer to those variety or not, we have to test in a smaller area, and based on that, we should go for large scale application. Similarly, in tomato, of course, mechanical manual removal is best one. Mulching is good one. Crop rotations, cover cropping, soil solution, we should go with this. But apart from that, the herbicide is concerned, pendimethalin is a good option we can use as a pre-emergence herbicide. And metribuzin, when we are using metribuzin, we should apply 1 week before the planting. And if you are applying it, so after 15 days of transplanting, we can go with the application of metribuzin, but care should be taken that it should be applied in the band between the row which should apply and whatever the weeds are there that will get killed. Care must be taken that there should not be drip of this metribuzin to our this tomato. So by this way we can get rid of weeds from the this tomato field, and whatever the weeds are there in the bund in the row, those can be uprooted manually. As far as brinjal is concerned, pendimethalin, oxychloroquine, azadirachtin, and nepromamide. Of course, after transplanting, it can be applied, but this is not registered yet in our country. Of course, the trial is going on, and even paraquat we can apply as a directed spray. And even after applying this herbicide, if some weeds are there, then need-based hand weeding can be done. By that way, we can minimize the weed severity in the brinjal field. As far as cabbage is concerned, oxidized as a pre-emergence herbicide we can use. Clomazone, it has the bleaching effect, but care must be taken that some of the leaf of cabbage may have this effect, a bleaching effect, some yellowing or whiteness, whitiness you can see. So we should not know so much of worry that, but it will get recovered. But still, some of the variety which are very, very much sensitive, then there we should avoid it. S-metolachlor, of course, in India it is not registered yet, but work is going on for registration of S-metolachlor. So this can be applied immediately after transplanting. Up cabbage and oxychloroquine, of course, if drift is there, then it may cause the leaf injury, but this is also a good herbicide in between between the rows. Between the rows we can apply this oxychloroquine and kill the weeds. Pendimethalin again, when we are applying, so then before planting of the cabbage, we can go with this pendimethalin. This is also one good option. Of course, it's a CS formulation, and some of the researchers they have tested sulfentrazone. But again, as I mentioned, the varietal selectivity issue is there, so we should very much careful about it. And still some weeds are then we must go with the one hand weeding. Similarly, broccoli, other pole crops, then oxidized oxychloroquine, nepromamide, and pendimethalin, S-metolachlor are some of the options we have. This can be tried in your area, and based on the result, you can recommend for large scale application. But first, we have to test in a small area. Onion, we have good options like oxychloroquine we can use as a pre-emergence, pendimethalin, CS formulation, this ready mix of pendimethalin, oxychloroquine is there. Chlorpop and oxychloroquine is there, that it is a post-emergent herbicide. Similarly, propacuzumab and oxychloroquine, and quizolopop oxychloroquine, phenoxaprop for killing phenoxaprop, and propacuzumab and haloxypop R-methyl. This is for these are the grass killer. So based on the weed severity, we should choose the herbicide. But if we mix kind of weed fluoride, then this quizolopop oxychloroquine, propacuzumab oxychloroquine, and chlorpop oxychloroquine. So oxychloroquine is safe to onion, so we can use this herbicide as a pre-emergence and post-emergence. Even we can use this oxychloroquine in the onion nursery. And as far as potato is concerned, metribuzin, we can use this as a pre-emergence herbicide. And paraquat can also be used when 5% sprouting is there. At that time we can use, but the care must be taken that it should be applied in the band. And ethalfluoroethylene is also one grass killer, but I don't know the availability of this molecule in the market. But yeah, this is one of the recommended grass killer for potato. And the chlorinoform and metribuzin at lower dose, it also can be applied as a post-emergence herbicide for broad spectrum weed control. And 2,4-D amine side can be used, but only thing is that it should be applied in the band between the row. Between two rows, it can be applied. And rimsulfuron also, it's a broad leaf for broad leaf weed control, post-emergence herbicide. But again, it is not registered in CIB RC list. So working goes on. Work is going on. Let's see when this will get registered and available in the market. So based on the availability, this can be used. But yeah, researchers suggest that rimsulfuron is also working for controlling broadleaf weeds in potato. So of course, turmeric, yeah, it's a long duration crop. It requires frequent weeding. But if initially we can use some of the herbicide, so it will give the initial weed control like pendimethalin, metribuzin, atrazine, oxadiazole, oxychlorophene. These are the pre-emergence herbicide, and phenoxaprop, quizlofop, chlorophop. These are the grass killer. This can be applied later. So you just can see the right side picture. This turmeric crop, and the rows are full of weeds. So it required a huge number of engagement of manpower. So we have to be very much cautious because these plots are not mulched down. So when we talk about weed control in turmeric, we should go with the pre-emergence herbicide, followed by we should go with mulching. Whatever the mulch material we have, we should apply. But the dose of mulch means volume of mulch or quantity of mulch is very, very high. It should be normally in field crop we use 4 to 5 tons. So here it's required 7 to 8 tons. So that much of mulch material is required. And still some of the weeds are coming up from those mulch, then that can be pulled it out manually. And for organic, this weed management, we tried it in our directorate. So application of black polythene mulch followed by hand weeding, or 3 mechanical weeding, or mulching with this gliricidia leaf mulch, or crop residue mulch up to 7.5 tons, and 3 hand weeding. These are some of the options we have. Well, it depends on which kind of cultivation we are doing. If organic this turmeric we are going, then these are the options. Or if commercial cultivation, then we can go with the pre-emergence herbicide, and then followed by mulching and hand weeding should be adopted. Similarly, in ginger, these are the options. But I have placed the glyphosate in red color. It's because this is not recommended in field crops, so we should not use glyphosate. But pendimethalin, oxychlorophene, and this pendimethalin, oxychlorophene ready mix, this paraquat and metribuzin. These are some of the herbicides are recommended that can be used for weed management ginger. And similarly, cluster bean, yeah, pendimethalin, imidacloprid at lower doses. Propagation of imidacloprid you can try, and imidacloprid, imazamox. These are some of the herbicides which is working well. This can be tried when we are going this cluster bean, and if need based hand weeding is required, that can also be performed. So bitter gourd also, this here halosulfuron is only recommended, but our researchers, they have tried this pendimethalin and quizlofop, that is also working well. But halosulfuron is giving good control on cypress rotundus. So wherever the cypress problem is there, we should go with this halosulfuron and follow by mulching and then hand weeding. By this way, we can get rid of weeds. But care must be taken when we are applying the herbicide, so you should not come in contact with the leaf of this beetle gourd or bottle gourd. And apart from that, the peas, yeah, some of the options are there, and even we can use metribuzin as well in lower doses. In okra, yeah, pendimethalin, alachlor, metachlor, these are some of the options we have. When if you're going with this coriander, the pendimethalin and metachlor, quizlofop, these are some of the options we have. See, these are the not our work. Some of the researchers, they have tested at various corner of the country. So they found the effectiveness of this herbicide. Therefore, those herbicides are compiled, and I am presenting before you. So therefore, it's not specific the reference I am putting here, but this is the compiled work of various centers, various stations, various research papers. So you should try this herbicide in smaller area first, and then go with large scale based on the performance. So I would say that yeah, HerbCare is the one mobile app we have developed here. You can download. We are keep updating this mobile app. So here, crop wise and this whatever the herbicides are recommended, and who those herbicides are, which formulation is available in the market, those things you can put, and how much area you have. Based on that, if you're putting the area, it will calculate how much of that particular herbicide is required and how much of spray volume is required. So this is the one very good option available with us. This can be downloaded, and even you can suggest your colleagues to download, and even you can suggest your farmers to use this app. So in nutshell, yeah, of course, we must follow this integrated weed management practices. Apart from this, some robotics are also coming. Although work is going on in our country, but in a Western country and Europe, some already robots are developed based on the some this image processing and there are certain kind of specialized image capturing and processing systems are there. Based on that, they have developed robotics and robots they have developed, and they are using for vegetable cultivation, especially in organic farms, and even some of the herbicide applicator, very precise herbicide applicator like CN spray and Magic sprayer by Bayer. They have developed, but the availability in our countries it's a big question. But yeah, in days to definitely in days to come, it will be available, and many of the institutions in our country they are working, and definitely good progress we are expecting, and it will be available in the market. So ultimately, our goal is to reduce the weed seed bank by any mean, whatever the available sources are there, whatever the available methodology there, we should follow, and we should get rid of these weeds so that ultimately we will harvest a good this vegetable crop, high yield, and quality material. So this is very important. Apart from this, just I would like to mention few lists I would like to show before you, because in the oilseed crops, our colleagues he tried to cover some of the crops, but three crops he missed. So it is our duty to tell about available options on those crops. One is soybean. You can see left side. This is the list. List is very long, but every herbicide molecule is having their own strength and weakness. Based on the weed severity in our field, we should pick those herbicides. But right side you can see some of the new molecule and broad spectrum herbicides are available. We should try them, and of course the rotation is very important. We should not depend on one kind of herbicide, and if we are depending on one kind of herbicide, what kind of problem is happening, you can see. We have been using this imidacloprid for a long time, and it is nothing but Alternanthra sessilis in this soybean field. Billions and billions of seed this is contributing. So if seed bank is enriched with this kind of weeds, then it will be very difficult to manage in coming season. So we have to be very much cautious. Despite we have used this herbicide, but manually this may be removed because it's in a very optimum stage. It's already in flowering stage, so we should not allow the seed to set and seed run, so that we can minimize the seed bank. So this kind of problem is happening. And similarly, if we are using imidacloprid for a long time, then this resistance is also reported. This is the case study of Madhya Pradesh. We have collected surveyed around 21 soybean growing districts and 94 biotypes we have collected, and we found problem in 15 districts. Up to 4x of problem is there. So we have to be very much cautious. We should not use one herbicide for a long time. So what are the possible options? These are some of the possible options available. So this can be tried. If it is resistance problem in grassy weeds, so we should choose those herbicide which is having the grass clear nature, like Quizilofop and this your Propaqizofop, this kind of herbicide mixture in mixture or ready mix if it is available. So that those can be included, and by that way this resistance problem of jungle lice Saricano can be minimized. Similarly, in this Camelina bengalensis and Camelina communis, this is also creating problem in many part of the state, and even this is the creating problem in Maharashtra as well. So we have surveyed around 20 districts, and some of the weeds biotypes they are not getting killed in 2x and 4x. So this is again problem. So these are the options like fluthioxet methyl 125 ml per hectare. This is the commercial dose we can use, and fluthioxet methyl and Quizilofop, the combination. So it will provide the broad spectrum, because fluthioxet will kill only broadleaf weeds, and fluthioxet methyl and Quizilofop it will provide broad spectrum weed control. So based on the weed flora, we should choose the herbicide, and we can get rid of the weeds. So these are the options available in groundnut. Yeah, most of the herbicide of soybean can be used in groundnut, but not all. But the list is this. I have presented before you. This can be used, like diclosulam or this pendimethalin imidacloprid, and propagquizumab imidacloprid, imazamox, and cruiselopop imidacloprid. These are the good herbicide. This can be used, but of course my suggestion would be it should not be used regularly. It should be used in rotation. And as far as mustard is concerned, yeah, very limited scope we have in mustard. But yeah, one of the herbicide that's pre-emergence herbicide, that's nepromamide. It is tested 1.12 to 1.4 kg as a pre-emergence, and it providing broad spectrum weed control, but it's not registered and work is going on. But of course, in days to come, it may get approved by CIB and RC. So this is the one options we'll having. But pendimethalin again is a good herbicide, but it has weakness on Medicago. So if Medicago problem is more, then pendimethalin will not work. So some other options like oxychloroquine and oxadiazole, of course, this is not recommended, but this is the effective herbicide. But while spraying this herbicide, we have to be very much cautious about this water. If applying the herbicide and if there is rain, or if by any way water is coming to the work field, then it may cause severe flood toxicity. So this kind of issues are there with this herbicide. And isoproton in your market, if it is available, then you can use this herbicide as a pre and post emergence herbicide. And Pujilofop and Clonofop are killing grassy weeds. Apart from this, researcher across the world, they have tested this trialate, clomazone, ethylfluorine, and sulfentrazone as a pre-emergence herbicide, and clothodime, cefoxidim, and viclorex. These are the grass killer. So grass killer, no issue, but as far as pre-emergence herbicide is there, if this herbicide, of course, clomazone is available and sulfentrazone is available in our country. So this may be tested in a smaller area. And if that herbicide is working in your variety, in your the area, and your soil condition, then that can be used. I told your condition, it means it means the soil type. If your soil is heavy, then the herbicide dose may be a little higher. If it's lighter soil, then you can reduce the dose. So these are some of the options we have. So with this, I conclude my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So let's take questions from a participant. Participant, you can raise your hand. Dr. Sandeep Sharma, you can ask. You can unmute yourself.
Audible? Hello.
Yeah, Sandeep, yeah, please go ahead.
Very warm good evening to all of you. I listened very carefully all the sessions, but here farmer demanding for the post emergence in the chickpea, and also weed control for in later stage in the turmeric and ginger. Because of that is Chhattisgarh areas is more area in spices crop. But major problem is that the weed is very highly attacked in the later stage. So farmer is demanding for the post emergence in the spices crop and the chick.
Okay, Dr. Sandeep, actually, your question is in two aspects. One is in chickpea, another one is ginger and turmeric. So let us talk first about chickpea, especially broadleaf weed control in later stage of the crop. So as on date, for clean grassy weeds, we have several options, but not for broadleaf weeds. But yeah, researcher they have tried because we are addressing to the researcher and professionals. So I can disclose here. Topramizan is one of the very good herbicide that can be used. We tested 20.16 gram AI per hectare at 20 days after sowing, so it's providing excellent control. But some of the varieties are showing the phytotoxicity. But if you can bear this small level of phyto up to 1 to 2 PSR, then definitely this will provide a broad spectrum weed control. Apart from that, as you mentioned, chickpea. So one more species is that Kabuli variety. So in Kabuli variety, this topramizan is quite safe. And even you can try this sodium acid chlorphane plus chlorinoform. I repeat, sodium acesulfate and chlorinophos, this is also safer. So this herbicide can be used, but of course you can reduce the dose. Normally this herbicide we recommend in 245 gram AI per hectare. So you can apply up to 80%, but if there will be there will be much difference on efficacy. By this way, you will get rid of weeds in chickpea. As far as your second question is concerned on ginger and turmeric, of course, this is the long duration crop, and these crops are severely infested with weeds. So what we do is we can go with the pre-emergence herbicide like this atrazine and this pendimethalin. Initially, it will provide weed control up to 30 days. So meanwhile, we can go with this mulching. Whatever the crop residue mulch is there, that can be used as a mulch material. And if some of the weeds are coming, then need-based this hand weeding we can impose. But only thing is that, as I mentioned, during rainy season, many flushes are coming. So initially, like your July and August, by applying herbicide, we can get rid of. And by applying herbicide and by mulching, it will give control up to your September. And then September onwards, you can impose some this herbicide. But by that time, you have mentioned about Chhattisgarh conditions. So Chhattisgarh, this rain, it will withdraw the rain by September last. So if at all required, you can impose 1 or 2 hand weeding, if at all required, by very less number of manpower. So definitely by this way, you can get rid of weeds in turmeric and ginger as well.
Shivalika Thakur, you can ask. Unmute yourself. Mr. Srinivasa. Shivalika Thakur. Unmute yourself and you ask your question. Mr. Uma Mahesh.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, please go ahead.
We are unable to hear you.
Hello.
Yeah.
Is there any specific pre or post emergence herbicides for leafy vegetables like amaranthus like this?
No, Dr. Sahab, I have not come across any of the herbicide which is recommended for amaranthus. Because I tried to search some of the literature, but I did not find any of the literature who will work on this amaranthus aspects. So I will say sorry, but again, I will search if somewhere elsewhere, if some work has been done in amaranthus, then I will compile and I can share those information with you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Srinivasalu.
Yes, sir. Sir, Choudhary ji.
Yeah.
Sir, is there any broadleaf weed killer available in turmeric, ginger, chilies, coriander? Any screen besides selective for broadleaf weed control in either turmeric, ginger, or chilies?
Okay, that's post-emergence herbicide. Only thing is that initially we can go for pre-emergence herbicide, but you're asking about post-emergence herbicide. Post-emergence herbicide you are asking. So if you can broaden the space between 2 row, and you can go with the bend application with hood. So you can try this metribuzin and paraquat. So these are the 2 options we have. But thing is that this herbicide should not be in contact with this leaf
not selective.
These are not selective. You cannot go with, but by using hood or by increasing the width of the row, you can use this herbicide. They will give good control.
Sir, for chickpea, I think earlier I tried in topramazole and that is iris. All those things give some toxicity. Topramazole at normal recommended for maize was toxic. But what were the doses? Tell me clearly.
That's again. We tried several doses. But as you mentioned, the recommended dose of maize, that is 25.2 gram.
25.
That is around 30 ml per acre of
Yes.
topramezan.
That
But
is
that
toxic.
is some of the variety they are very much sensitive to that dose. So you can reduce the dose up to 80%. Means you can go 20.16. I suggested in when previous participant asked. That is 20.16 grams. So the commercial dose be around 24 ml per acre. So that dose is sufficient, that providing excellent control. But again, I am telling some of the variety are sensitive, but some of the variety are very, very much tolerant. You won't find even a single dot. Okay.
Yes, I found Kabulis are somewhat more
they are safer.
tolerant.
They are safer. And you told about iris. Yeah, of course, iris. You can use this in Kabuli, but normal, this black gram. This is a bit phytotoxicity for longer time. Of course, your crop will survive for long, maybe 15-20 days. It will be remain intact, but later the growth will be there. By that time, this branching stage we will lose. So this is not recommended for normal chickpea variety, iris. But yeah, this is safe in Kabuli Kabuli chana.
Then Fusiflex, the Flusifab P-butyl plus Formacin, how it is?
Actually, Fluazifab P-butyl is that is grass killer, and Formacin. Formacin is also shows some toxicity, but again we have to standardize the dose. You have to standardize the dose. Actually, I have not worked on that Formacin, but I heard that it's also working in some of the variety. But again, this is a very long-term process. Many of the varieties are there. We have to screen those varieties, and we have to
blanket recommendation we cannot give.
No, sir, no, not at all.
That's why we are waiting actually from past 7-8 years.
Yeah.
Waiting for chickpea belt of farmers.
Yeah, actually, sir,
but we are not finding clearly.
We started this work in 2016, sir, here at the Directorate. But see how much time has passed. As sir told, previous speaker, Dr. Suresh sir told so much time it takes for registration. All the documents has been submitted, and wait for a year, maximum year, maybe next season. This season, I think it's not there, but next season, chickpea season, you will be getting those molecule registered in the list.
Okay, sir. Earlier also we tried, sir, in AP from 14, 15, 16 at that time, but somehow we are not able to push it, sir.
Yeah.
It is actually in great need, sir. Actually.
Even it is not registered, sir. Many of the farmers in Madhya Pradesh, they are using this herbicide. Even I would say this herbicide is going larger area than maize. There is a great hoarding of this herbicide, and they are using the this winter
How
season.
much dose farmers are using, sir? I think they are compromising to certain extent for.
Yeah. Actually, area where there is no option, then they are ready to compromise, sir. But only it will be the phyto effect will be only there for up to 7 days. Then it get recovered. Okay. But we have to bear for that 7 days because that whitening and yellowing symptoms will be there. But some of the farmers, they say that we go for nipping. That nipping is one practice in chickpea. If we go for this application of topramezan, then the growth will be stunted, and by that time the branching will be more.
For 2 weeks, I think it is taking time, sir. I think in
2 weeks it's long, but yeah, some of the sensitive variety they may take 2 weeks, but for normal variety and majority of the variety within 7 to 8 days they get recovered, sir. Whatever we have tested.
Actually, when we reduce the dose, actually our target weed is Chrozophora rotulari in chickpea, sir.
Okay,
that is another problem. That is more hard.
Yeah. That is very tough weed. I don't know whether topramezan is able
to
weeds
can be managed, sir. But
the
actually problematic weed for us.
Yeah. Rotovorl, this Chrysophora, that is a very tough weed, sir. Even the root system is very deeper. Even if you apply topramezan, it may give some.
But topramezan at 25 grams is excellent control, sir.
Okay.
But when we are reducing the dose again, that is the problem.
Here, Rotovorl, this the weed what you have spelled out, sir. That is the summer weed here in Madhya Pradesh. So we did not find that weed in our chickpea field. But as you have mentioned, we will try for that weed particularly to what is the dose, because repeatedly we are working on the dose, so that can be tested whether at what dose that is working for that ready for already.
Sir, can I get your contact number, sir?
Yeah, sir. See, sir, you can go to our website. All the
Okay,
science
website.
numbers are
Okay,
available.
I will get, and I wish to talk
Sure,
to you
sir.
on this.
Any kind of problem you are getting or any suggestion is required where we can help, we are ready to help,
Okay.
sir. Please do
Thank you.
contact and
Thank you
shoot us
very
mail
much.
as well.
Thank you very much.
We have other participant, Lokesh Kumar Jain. Lokesh Kumar Jain, please ask. Please unmute yourself. Dr. Malisha.
Sir, namaste.
Namaste, ji, namaste. बताइए.
Sir, while we were going to the field, it is the dose, especially dosage of the herbicide.
Now
We
unmute,
can't
madam.
remember. And any prescribed table is there so that we can observe that table.
Yes, sir. What you can do, sir? As I mentioned, we have developed one mobile app that is HerbCal. There, these recommendations are there, and these doses are also there. Okay, so that will be great help to you as well as you can suggest to farmer as well to use those our mobile apps. It will be very easy. It's very handy.
HerbCal, sir.
HerbCal, yeah. DWR HerbCal.
DWR HerbCal. Okay, sir.
You can download
Sir,
from.
it is in your website. It is there, sir.
Yeah, it's there in our website as well. You can put in Google Play Store. It will come, sir.
Okay, sir. For iPhone also. For iPhone also it is available or only Android?
Phone. I have
No,
not.
no, iPhone, no, only Android.
Only Android mobile, sir.
Oh my God. Okay, sir.
Lokesh Kumar Jain,
Thank you, sir.
unmute yourself.
I have unmute, madam.
Yeah, you can ask now.
No, I have nothing.
Okay, Miss Bhagwati.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, please.
Yeah, sir. Actually, I'm following the plasticulture technique in cultivating of vegetable crops. So
Yeah.
even in the plasticulture also, the crops, the weeds like sedges, no, it's tear that plastic and is to come. That it's a problematic weed like cypress.
Yes,
So
madam. Yes.
any opinion on this or how to control this cypress particularly?
Yeah. Cypress rotundus is a bit difficult to control. I can understand you are talking about rotundus only, ma'am. This structure is a needle-like structure. Even it can rupture your thin this plastic film. Are you getting my voice?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. So the cypress rotundus is a problem, madam. So what we can do during summer season, if you are going for this plastic culture activity for growing vegetables, then during summer season you can go for deep plowing and then go for harrowing, so that whatever these tubers are there, it will come up, and while harrowing, it will come in the small pieces, and then you irrigate the plot. So whatever these tubers are there, they will germinate from all the ice. And once it is germinating and it is in 2 to 4 leaf stage, then go for application of halosulfuron. Okay, so it will kill the all the this your cypress rotundus or almost all the stages it will kill, and later after 15 days you can go for your vegetable cultivation.
Okay, sir. Is it possible to embed the herbicides in plastic sheets, sir? That means the mulching sheet, which one we are using. So some of the research papers, I literally comes to know like herbicide can able to embed into the mulching sheets, which one can control the cypress. So, but literally I didn't see in the research papers in recently somewhere I saw. So, do you have any opinion on that? If is it possible or not, sir?
No, actually, this people say that herbigation, when you're using drip irrigation system and you can see that. But the only thing is that halosulfuron, when you're using and it is reaching you directly to the nuts, because our target is that it should absorb through foliage and it should reach to the tuber. Then only we'll get the better efficacy. But tuber itself, how much it will absorb the herbicide, it's a big question, and we have not studied. So, of course, you have thrown light food for the thought. Definitely, we'll work on that. But as far as my knowledge goes, whatever experience I have, I can say that absorption will be less,
Okay.
and of course efficacy will be it will come down.
So
So
we can't able to, I think, embed that herbicide into plastic
no.
sheet.
If it is coming out from the that plastic sheet, then we can apply. Even this some weak applicators are there, na?
Okay.
Small size weak applicators are there. If those sedges are coming out, then there just we can go with this application of halosulfuron. But again, we should take care that they should that the applicator should not come in contact with leaf of the vegetables.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, we have many questions in our question and answer box. So I understand this is very important topic. So many participants, they have asked many questions. So we can give this on chat box
Yeah.
only.
Okay, we can compile and send it to
We
them.
are running out of time. So,
Yeah, okay, no problem.
So we'll take in chat box. So thank you very much, sir, for sharing your knowledge on integrated weed management in vegetable crops.